Assalamualaikum, I'm ALIF QAYYUM bin HUSIN.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ATHIRAH NURSYIEFA and I'm from DIA 3D and my ID number is PDA2107058.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Asiah binti ZAKARIA. I am from College Professional Marabada Penawar and my student ID is PDA2107124.
My name is NURUL NAJWA bin SALIM and my ID numbers is PDA 2107051.
So, me as the first presenter for this assignment presentation would like to present about Introduction Malaysian Legal System. So, we as netizens should know about legal system. In Malaysia, has a unified legal system with federal and state being recognized by all courts. This legal system is based on the common law of the United Kingdom. The majority of cases are heard by the magistrate and sessions courts, and meanwhile, the Islamic law and the custom law is adjudicated by the religious court. Next, the federal court, or in Malay known as Mahkamah Persekutuan. The federal court is the highest court within the hierarchy of legal jurisdiction in Malaysia. Its review decision refer from the High Court of Peninsular Malaysia, High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and subordinate courts. Next, the hierarchy of courts begins from the magistrate courts, session courts, high courts, courts of appeal, and lastly is federal courts. Moreover, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong acting on the advice from Prime Minister and after consultation with the Conference of Rulers, and they will select all the members of judiciary. Next, the constitution works on determine the maximum numbers of the judges. Lastly, the Chief Justice of Federal Court is the head of judiciary and he always supervises all courts directly. Now, I will pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Next, we move to the next slide, which is answering question 1 is describe sources law in Malaysia. So every country have a law, have a different law. So Malaysia also have a mixed legal system law. According to sources law in Malaysia, it can be classified into two categories, which is written law and unwritten law. So most important sources law in Malaysia is written law. Now we focus on describe written law. So it's following the federal constitution, state constitution, legislation enacted by parliament and state assembly, and the last one is subsidy in legislation. Okay, so first is federal constitution. It's a supreme law in Malaysia. It's a basic or fundamental right of the individual. Constitution is the basic principle and the highest law in of the state. It only can change by two majority by the number of member of legislation. Be categorized by act is federal law. It's made by parliament. Second category is unwritten law. It's not enacted by parliament or a state. Can be found on the case common law, case law, custom law, and the Islamic law. The principle of English law is a part of common law to overcome the rigidity of the law in application. Next, case law. Judicial precedent decision of higher court must be followed by the judges of the lower court in similar cases. The third one is custom law. It's a practical and law local. It's related to the divorce, marriage, and inheritance. The last one is Islamic law or Sharia. It's specific to the Muslim only.
And I'm going to answer Task 1, Question 2. ATHIRAH kata can sue the Khatulistiwa Haven Resort in session court in case involving ATHIRAH kata and the Khatulistiwa Haven Resort. This is because that involves landlord and renters are heard in session court. Since landlord cannot deliver their responsibilities, this case fell to this court, which is Session Court. Andrea Carlton and the Khatulistiwa Haven are engaged in a civil fight because they are landlord. The Khatulistiwa Haven Resort has failed miserably to care for their tenant safety in the aftermath of Daniel Kasman's death. Because they had paid a fee for their service, the Khatulistiwa Haven should have prioritized the welfare to their renters. The Khatulistiwa Haven Resort can be disputed and fined as little as Rm1 million. According to the Session Court, from original civil suit, Andrea Carlton can sue the Khatulistiwa Haven Resort in Session Court, claiming that they failed to offer safety to their tenants. Andrea Carlton's family, resulting in the death of Emily Carlton, a 70-year-old English girl.
Next, for question 3, the courts that have criminal jurisdiction to try the case involving Daniel Kasman is High Court. As enshrined in the Malaysian legal system, High Court may try any offences which magistrates and Session Court have no jurisdiction and may pass any sentences provided by the law. Thus, as in the case of Daniel Kasman, who was sentenced to death under Section 302 of the Penal Code, only the High Court has the power to impose the death sentence on him. Lastly, in conclusion, we can state that the law is a set of rules that must be obeyed by all citizens in Malaysia. If we fail to comply with the law, we will be subject to appropriate punishment according to the act that has been provided. In addition, the law is very important in Malaysia to ensure that the people do the right thing and fair in certain situations. Thank you.